Velma, the very much hated newest animated reboot of Scooby Doo with Mindy Kaling as our brainy brain Velma. Season 2, I think, is much better. Yep, I've only watched about 5 episodes, but I think it's an improvement. Mostly because the characters are being much kinder to each other, everyone's being much nicer, it's much less mean spirited all around. Yeah, it's still pretty ridiculous and it has that meta humor, but yeah, just the fact that the characters are actually acting like friends and trying to help one another, I think is really, really sweet. And I can watch a show where friends are being nice to one another. Now, is the mystery incredibly exciting? No, because most of the episodes do end up with Velma just bickering with people. But yeah, the actual crime of it this season, someone is taking off penises. Yeah, they're killing like people and then taking their penises, which I find funny, but yeah, they are not making any progress of finding out who it is so much. And yeah, they could make it way more scary other than just like, seeing men attacked. I can laugh at Mindy Kaling's like feminist jokes throughout this thing because they are funny. They are. And the fact that Velma is actually like being aware of her friends this season and just interacting with them more is a relief. It's much nicer to see. Do I think she and Daphne are in love? Not really, no. I think they're two old friends that care about each other very much, but they are so passionately different in how they think and what they want that I don't see them working together. I don't. Fred, instead of being angry and pathetic, he's kind of healing. He's going through his grievement of his mom and is showing his sweeter side, and I think that's nice. Yeah. The part where he tried to be a priest to like, see ghosts, I actually think is pretty funny myself. And then the part where other people are using him as alibis to commit their crimes, again, I also find that pretty funny. Norville, that's supposed to be Shaggy, is nothing like Shaggy. Yes, in this case, he is having traumatic, like, hallucinations because last season, spoiler alert, he killed Fred's mom, who was the bad guy. Yeah. And Fred, even though he sees Norville as a friend, is really mad at him. Which is justified. Hell, Norville constantly tries to apologize and give his heart to how, like, horrifyingly sorry he is. But the good thing about Norville is he is intelligent and he is trying very hard to, figure out how to help himself without taking weed. He just doesn't need it, and frankly, as a teenager, they should not be smoking weed. Adults, it's fine after a certain age, but now with kids, it makes them dumb and stunts their growth. Just don't. So I appreciate that these four iconic characters are acting more like friends, not just with Velma, but they cross with each other to help with like little problems, and I think that's really sweet. It's just fine. I can say that about a lot of new shows. There was an animated series called Young Love based on the gorgeous animated short called Young Hair. Young Love is a very weak sitcom. It's an animated sitcom about a, millennial black family, but yeah, it's just not as like funny or witty as it thinks it is. It has moments here and there, and I appreciate, an unmarried couple with a kid on screen showing that they are a good pair, they are a good family, and they don't have to be married. I think that's nice. But but for the most part, besides the daughter, the characters are pretty flat and boring. It's a pity, but it's true. The daughter is a laugh, though. She's very smart and always trying to solve problems while also still being a cute kid. It's a good balance. And oh, yeah, the second best hospital in the universe. I appreciate the tone of wanting to go all Rick and Morty with science fiction and having leading female characters, but I also find their problems to be a little dull. It's cool that there's like very smart surgeons, that is, but they don't really go through like really weird enough problems for me. They don't have weird enough relationship issues for me. Yes, a lot of people get anxiety from the parent who thinks they're helping them. I get that. I sympathize with that very much. But the degree it goes to is just kind of cringy. Yeah, yeah. I will say that the part where one of the surgeons, her two love interests, how instead of being jealous of each other, they become friends and comfort each other, that was nice. That was nice to see. So I think Yeah, if those two series don't get a second season, I honestly don't care. They were a sincere try and they were something very different than things I've seen before. But the writing wasn't that great, the animation didn't go as crazy as it could, it wasn't bold enough. And it's not even that I need series to go bold, or they just need to be a certain level of quality. Like We Bare Bears was incredibly wholesome and took a lot of weird turns without the shock value so much as just nice progression. In a way, I can kind of say that about Jessica's Big Little World. It's very, very wholesome, it's very, very cute. It's kind of like Bluey, where, it's centered on kids figuring out problems at their very, slow kid pace. And I think, yeah, if you are a little kid or a parent, you might, find a little more compassion for that. You might find that more interesting and adorable. But as for somebody who isn't a parent and who just likes animation, I think the animation is pretty, it's memorable, it's cute. More than just cute, because I often feel guilty about describing, cartoons that way. But yeah, it does have that whole, love letter to anime. I grew up on anime, so I'm making my cartoon the style of it as close as I can. Yeah. Yeah, it's got a very Steven Universe look to it. And yeah, the characters, yeah. Jessica, by just being so passionate about her small problems, really pulls it off. So, what is the scope of this? Do I think Velma season 2 completely, absolves the sins of Velma season 1? No. Do I think it's a sign where if you get another season, sometimes people prove that they've learned and they can get better? I do. Do I want a season 3? I've only seen half of it, so I don't know. I will say that there's a hole in my heart from not seeing the actual Scooby-Doo. Oh, sure, we make jokes about it. But no, I miss that dog. I do. I miss his and Shaggy's unnatural love. Yeah. And just because Norville was eating, he's not enjoying it. So, yeah. It's almost like they're doing everything Shaggy does, but with disdain. Yeah. But besides that, I still think Norville is a very, interesting, cool guy who has good morals. He cares about his friends. Oh my God. I have to give a shout out to the chicks in the brain, or okay, there are these brains in jars and they are just walking around like they're high school because they're still technically alive and they can talk and see things. And yeah. It's hideous to look at, but they're proving that actually, at least one of them with the bow, does have personality, care, and goals. It's nice. And that is really, really nice. It looks so out of place. I kind of feel like, I don't know what I'm watching when I'm watching them. Maybe a little more no, I really think back to DC Comics because they have so many just brain characters. But no, the brains are proving to be people, and that is crazy. So yeah, I'm going to watch the second half of Velma. I am actually excited. I think I'm going to enjoy this. And yeah, if you have enough of a stronger stomach and an open mind, please watch Velma. I promise you it's not as painful as last year. At worst, it's just not very exciting.